everyone, and welcome to episode 10 of It's All in the Movies. I'm sorry there's been a brief hiatus. It's been a while since my last review, but I'm glad to be back. And as you know, each week or each episode, I'm joined by a guest to bring you reviews of the newest releases in theaters. Today I'm joined by Lauren, and we have quite a task today, as Lauren, a long time ago, said, I would like to review Fruitvale Station when it comes out.
I want to clarify that was not my first choice.
It was pretty high up on the list.
I'm not. Bling Ring, Fruitvale Station.
And Bling Ring never happened. It was not possible. It never happened. So we're reviewing Fruitvale Station, which is a very interesting movie in that we're seeing it in July. It's an independent movie that's getting wide release in July, which is very strange and not doesn't happen very frequently. But for anyone who doesn't know what it's about, because it is a lower budget independent movie that was picked up, I believe, at Sundance. It's a true story about Oscar Grant, who is a young man who was killed by a transit officer in Oakland, California, in New Year's Eve 2008. So, starting right there, that's pretty heavy load.
It's an uplifting family film?
Yes. So, it's going to be really hard to do this movie. Luckily, we don't have to deal with any spoilers because it's, we all know what the story is. It's introduced in the very beginning with the real footage of Oscar Grant being killed, which is just awful to start watching at the very beginning of a movie. But what did you think of Fruitvale Station?
I thought it was great. I mean, great seems like a weird word for a movie like that, but I thought it was really, really, really good. I mean, it was hard to watch at points, but also we said before, it's not that, not as hard to watch as I thought it was going to be.
I thought it was really good. I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was possibly the best movie I've seen this year. It's exactly what you just said. It's very hard to watch at the beginning. It's very hard to watch at the end. But I was pleasantly surprised. That's even a bad term, but I was surprised that it was not as kind of horribly depressing the entire movie.
No, parts were funny. I mean,
there were people laughed.
Parts with his family were really sweet.
Yeah, so we should explain what the movie is, because basically it's the 24 hours. It's New Year's Eve, the 24 hours the day that he's killed, and it kind of goes through the movie. And I thought that it was really great because for a few reasons. One, if you look back at what was happening in the movie, there was very little of real consequence actually happening. He went to the grocery store. He went to buy a card for his mother on her birthday. He goes and does all this stuff, and he gets gas. And you're like, this should probably be pretty boring stuff, but it's not. And I think one is because the performances are great. Michael B. Jordan, who plays the lead role, is very good.
Can I make a bold prediction? He's going to get an Oscar nomination.
He might. I think that this movie is most definitely going to get nominations. I'd be shocked if it did not.
He was, wonderful.
He was very good.
Really great.
And I think one of the reasons he was very good was that, and this was another part of the movie that I thought was very good, is that it could have been very easy to make this movie, and make him be like the greatest human on earth for the half hour.
Yeah.
But it's not. From the very first scene, you basically are introduced that he is potentially cheating on his girlfriend.
He's lost his job for valid reasons.
Lost his job. He's been dealing drugs. He's gone to prison. He's gone to San Quentin. I mean, so
he's a regular person.
He's a regular guy who's got problems. He's got anger issues.
Yeah.
He's got, they set him up, again, for a movie like this. I mean, clearly, I'm guessing the goal is to make us look at this horrible tragedy and how it happened, and it could have set him up as just being, the greatest person in the world, and it doesn't. And I think that part of what makes the movie so powerful is that they don't do that, and it kind of lets the incident be horrifying on its own.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's a horrible incident. It's a horrible thing that happened. And
I thought it was interesting too how they had him, you could kind of see the switch go between him when he was having to be tough, stuck with his job, or when they flash back to when he was in prison. And then like the switch that would happen when he was around like his family and friends, like he would turn into like the most charming, like sweet person in the world.
Right.
Like it was, you know, I mean, you know, people that are like that, like because of circumstances in their life, they have to be, you know,
exactly.
tough when the moment calls for it, and then, but that's not who they really are.
That's not who they are, and I mean, that also makes it more powerful, the relationship with his mother and his grandmother and his daughter.
I thought Octavia Spencer was great.
She was great playing his mother.
I haven't seen her in anything really besides The Help.
Right.
And I mean, she was wonderful. I was saying, where's she been since?
Yeah. So the movie kind of builds to the climactic scene of the incident, and I mean, I think that it plays that very well too. I think that it's very matter of fact about things. It's not overly like it's not kind of staged in a fancy way. It's just very matter of fact. You see kind of the group that he's in are, you know, again, it's a thing, like, they're clearly causing trouble. They're doing things they shouldn't be doing. You know, they're getting in fights. They're doing whatever. Then at the same time, the police officers are, you know, being probably way more rough and brutal than they need to be with them.
And watching how, like, leading up to what ultimately happened, how he was, like, kind of, like, the part that really got me was, I don't know if this is giving anything away, but, like...
I really don't think there's anything to give away.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Titanic, you know how the story's going. Like, but they, like, kind of crushed his face into the ground. Yeah. That was probably the most hard to watch thing for me. Like, I mean, it was just really real. It
was hard to watch, but, I mean, yeah, it's a really hard movie to review. We haven't reviewed a movie like this. It's all been fun, crazy blockbusters.
Iron Man, and I get Fruitvale Station.
Yes, but that doesn't make it any less, you know, it's a great movie.
Oh, it's a great movie. Like, and I don't want to see it again ever.
Right.
But like it was, I mean, everybody should.
And I still think it's bizarre that it's coming out. One, the release that it's getting. It's a really, you know, kind of low budget. I don't think it's like super low budget, but it's not like.
Has the director done anything before?
I'm not sure.
I
don't know.
The pace, the style, all that stuff.
I'm not sure, but I just thought that it was. It's strange that it was kind of released in July around the Wolverine and Pacific Rim. I mean, it's just like, it's so a different movie, but the theater was packed that we saw it in.
I was surprised. Well, and I said to someone else that, I mean, there's flies flying.
We've got a fly in here.
They're like, I was sitting next to like two like young middle school aged boys, and I kept like looking over at them the whole time, and I was like, I can't believe they're in a movie like this, but I mean, it's great that they're in a movie like that, but like, especially some of the more extreme parts.
It was hard to watch.
But I guess
so I guess you would recommend this movie to...
I think everyone should go see it. I mean, no matter what your background, it was a really well done movie. There are parts of it that were kind of slow, but I think it's supposed to be like that. It's like it's a day in his life.
I completely disagree. I was thinking so this movie was 85 minutes long. And I kept thinking, why are there not more movies made like this? I thought it was really brisk. I thought it was really...
I don't agree. No, I mean, there were parts, and I don't think this is a bad thing, but there were parts that really, like, you know, meander, like, I'm trying to think of a specific example, but, you know, the gas station, that was
a fantastic scine. I mean, that whole scene was absolutely fantastic. We won't get into what happens, but it's a really effective scene. I just thought that it's so rare to see, especially like a serious movie that contains itself. Yeah. I mean, we're in the era of a movie just can't exist unless it's 2.5 hours long. And to see a movie that is this short, and I thought it was paced really well. I was like, oh my gosh, we're already to the kind of climax of this movie, and it didn't feel like it had been that long, but...
See, it felt long to me, like, and I guess it's because it's an entire day dragged out, so there were points that were, like, and it worked for it, that there were points that weren't really, like, significant to the story. It was just kind of more showing you, like, who he was, and how he went about his life, and that kind of thing. But there were parts where it was a little slower than I thought it needed to be.
I disagree, but, you know. So I would also recommend the movie. I think that it's a tough movie to recommend in July. I don't know who's going to want to drag themselves out on a nice summer day. I guess.
I'm glad I saw it.
I'm glad I saw it too. I'm very glad I saw it. I think I'm going to be shocked if this movie isn't nominated for stuff. I don't know what, but...
Michael B. Jordan the lead guy is just, I love him on Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
Anyways, and he's been in like The Wire and a million other things.
Right.
But he is just like next level.
It was very good.
Really
Everyone
good.
was very good in it, and I think that there was a lot of buzz around this movie, and I think it lived up to the hype. So that's a good thing.
Can I say one thing that I didn't? Well, it's not that I didn't like it, but I want to go back and find out. Okay, so at one point he's at his job at a grocery store, and he meets a woman who is trying.
Yeah, I don't think that's real.
And the woman was then on the train.
Yeah, no, I think that was a narrative.
Why did that happen though? Like. I thought that was
because it was an incident. It was an incident that set off a very important part of the movie. There could have been a million other things. I agree. I thought that was a little bit contrived.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of a contrived narrative thing. I mean, who knows? Maybe it actually happened. But I was thinking, there's no way this actually happened.
It bothered me because the part where we originally meet her, I thought was great and really sweet, and that was one of the first instances where you see who he really is and how, if you came to meet him in real life, how he might be.
Yeah.
And then to have her show up later, of all, like.
Yeah, it was.
Seriously,
it's pretty contrived, but
But
it didn't quite take me out of the movie. But I was thinking, there's no way this actually happened this way. But anyways, well, I think that about wraps it up. Thank you so much for joining.
Can I do a fun movie next time?
We'll do a fun movie next time. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I'm sorry for the break. I'm hoping to have a whole lot of reviews in the coming days. I've been in class, summer school, 2 days a week. It's been brutal, but
tough life.
Tough life. But we'll be back and we'll have more reviews. So if you want to watch more reviews, you can go to my website, it'sallinthemovies.com. You can send me an email at it'sallinthemovies@gmail.com, or you can follow me on Twitter at allinthemovies. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.